Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we flew over the mountains of Unova and arrived here in the vicinity of Reversal Mountain. And through our travels, we discovered this mysterious, strange house. And this time, on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, I think we are going to be exploring it. But in case you missed it last time we surpassed 50% completion on the Pokedex. That is insane. We have caught 325 unique species of Pokemon in our adventure thus far. I think our goal is in sight. I don't know about you guys. And I think the best way to encounter even more Pokemon is to explore new areas. Let's do it. And here we are, in the strange house. I want you to look closely at the furniture in here. It's twitching. How creepy is that? That is insane. This is a huge change of pace from the rest of the game. Everything here is just so bizarre. Now, I think you have to go through this area in a relatively specific order. So I think we're going to go downstairs first, since it looks like that area is available to us. As you can see, there are lots of bookshelves right here. There are Pokemon called Hypno. Each one carries a pendulum that it can swing to make people drowsy. It has been said that a Hypno once hypnotized a child and took it away. There is lots of very strange lore based upon supernatural things regarding Pokemon. Right here, we have another spell tag, which is kind of creepy considering we just got one. There's a Pokemon called Darkrai in the far Sinnoh region. To protect itself, it drives people and Pokemon away with terrible nightmares. Spooky, spooky, spooky. As you can see, the furniture is in the way of us grabbing that item. Navigating through the rooms of this house will cause the furniture to spontaneously move, which is really, really, really creepy. So you have to wonder, why on earth would you ever come into this creepy as all heck area in the game? Well, there is actually something in here that we need to get if we want to obtain all of the Pokemon. As you can see, since we went downstairs and came back upstairs, the furniture over here moved, which means we can now enter this door. And whoop-de-doo, there is actually a trainer. What's this, a visitor? Oh, I'm so happy to meet someone else here. Could I ask you to be my opponent in a long-awaited Pokemon battle? Relatively tame considering how creepy the rest of this area is. So we have a trainer battle here, and he's using a Numble, which makes absolutely no sense to me because we saw a wild Camerupt last episode, so I have to wonder what on earth makes him think that we would not be prepared to face something like this, considering we'd have to go through Camerupt to get here. I mean, okay, easier wins are good for me. Unfortunately, he yawned me, so I think switching is probably in my best interest. And, of course, he uses Earthquake, which we should be able to take pretty nicely. Yes, we do. Which means we can respond in kind with Surf. Alrighty. Now all we have to do is hope some creepy ghost or whatever doesn't walk up behind us and steal our soul, because this seems like the kind of area where that would happen. Like, this area is such a bizarre change of pace from the rest of the game. I don't think there's any other area in the game that has an atmosphere anywhere close to like this. Which I suppose makes it even more eerie in a way. It's one of those tinier details that I feel like really fleshes out the Unova region and probably makes it one of my favorite Pokemon regions ever. Mandibuzz gets level 50, is trying to learn Embargo, which I'm really not too terribly interested in learning, because most of the strategies that trainers employ in this game involve held items and not using items. so I really don't think it's worth that much of a shot. Got Camerupt coming out here, which means Gastrodon is probably a very valuable switch. I very much like how we can switch between all of the members of our team in order to counteract the type advantages. I feel like that's the sign of a really well-designed team when you're faced with an opponent and you're like, this is good, and you switch and you've got an advantage. It's one of the fun things about Pokemon. Now, is that all of your Pokemon? It is. Alrighty. Get a little bit of cash for that. And do you have anything to say? This house, doesn't it seem like the furniture just moves itself? No, it's not me. I'm seriously not moving it. Is there any items in here? Apparently not. As far as I know, there are no hidden items around here, so that's why I don't have the dowsing machine up. Now, it looks like we now are unable to proceed that way, so I'm going to head back downstairs and see if the furniture down there moved. And the answer is it has not, which is unfortunate. I'd very much like to grab that item. So I think our only option is to try and head up this mezzanine here. And we have all these rooms blocked off, and an everlasting dark dream. An endless dream of darkness. Dad, Mom, Abra, where are you? Eerie stuff. Seriously eerie stuff. And of course, we have wild Pokemon to go along with it. One of those is Duosion, which is the evolved form of Solosis. It's one of the many Pokemon available in this area that we do not yet have, so I think standard protocol at this point is to paralyze it and attempt a capture. Hopefully we can capture it before that future sight gets off, because that is quite a dangerous move. Although I'm pretty sure Magnezone could wall it with no trouble. There we go, Duosion was caught. Now, one thing I'm not sure of is if Dusk Balls actually work in here, because it's not a cave, but it is dark. I'll have to check that. When their two divided brains think the same thoughts, their psychic power is maximized. Creepy. I find it odd how it took them until now to come up with a Pokemon idea that is basically cellular division, but I think it's a really neat concept. And is there actually any way for me to go? And of course it's another Duosion, because of course it is. This game has like dozens of Pokemon it could possibly throw at me, and it starts chucking me repeats already. That just ain't right. Anyway, right here we have TM30 Shadow Ball, which is a very, very good move that is Ghost type, and it's also not on my list of items. Huh, it must have replaced something here. Anyway, now that we've emerged, what happens if we come down this way? I want to say this furniture has now moved. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm not actually able to navigate through this room at all now, which is a little unfortunate. What else has happened? Still can't walk through this way. This area is very confusing for this reason, because you have to navigate through multiple areas repeatedly in order to get the furniture to move the way you want it to. But anyway, right here we have yet another new Pokemon. This is Kirlia, the evolved form of Ralts. This Kirlia, being male, actually is capable of evolving into 2 different forms, and of course it has Synchronize. It's capable of evolving into 2 different forms depending on how you attempt to evolve it, which is very interesting. Although I'm pretty sure we can catch both those forms in the wild anyway, so I'm not sure if we're going to be making use of this thing whatsoever. And caught. No big deal on that one. Very nice. Even more data for our Pokedex. If its trainer becomes happy, it overflows with energy, dancing joyously while spinning about. Interesting stuff. Kind of odd how such a quote-unquote happy Pokemon would be doing in a place like this. What would it be doing in here? It's just eerie. Now, is there anywhere else I can go? Or do I have to go back down this way? This area is just so bizarre. And of course it's another Kirlia. Alrighty. Yet another repeat going on. What happens if we head back into this room and then back out? Nothing, apparently. What happens if we go back downstairs now that everything's been moved? Even more limited options from the looks of it. This is weird. This is probably the creepiest area in the game, purely for this reason. It's a nightmare to navigate. And of course, it's still nothing new. I know for a fact there's more stuff that this area could be throwing at me. I guess it's just spiting me. Now I'm kind of at a loss as to what I'm supposed to do next. Let's try leaving and then coming back. Will that do anything? It seems to have. Now can we head upstairs just right off the bat this way? I think this might have actually reset the layout of the house, which is unfortunate. Okay. Let's see, is there anywhere else I can go? Can I go down this way? Seriously, this place is turning into a greatest hits collection of things I've already found. Oh, that's new. That is very, very much new. This is Spiritomb. Like Sableye, this Pokemon is dark and ghost type, meaning that it naturally has no weaknesses in this particular game. Which is very, very interesting. And of course I'm paralyzed. This Pokemon was a huge pain to get in Diamond and Pearl when it was introduced. It involved going to the underground 32 times, interacting with other players 32 times. Like, it's insane. And you had to do that per Spiritomb, which is just bizarre. So I'm glad they made it at least a little bit easier to obtain in more recent titles. And we caught it. Second try ain't bad. Its constant mischief and misdeeds resulted in it being bound to an odd keystone by a mysterious spell. Spooky indeed. Probably one of the spookiest Pokemon because other Pokedex entries seem to imply that it is comprised completely of souls. Like, yeah, that's just creepy beyond all reason. Aha, there's something new. Gothorita, kind of like a counterpart to Duosian, the same way Gothita and Solosis are counterparts to each other, because this thing is the evolved form of Gothita. As you might expect, of course. And luckily we get the Thunder Wave off on this thing on first try, which is not bad at all. I'm hoping I'll be able to navigate through this area soon, because pretty soon I'll run out of Pokemon to catch. There we go. That actually took a few tries, but oh well, we got it. According to many old tales, it creates friends for itself by controlling sleeping children on starry nights. That is pretty up there on the creepiness scale, I have to say. Now, can we please actually get somewhere in our navigation of this area? What happens if I don't go into that room? Or are there no other options? I think there might be no other options. So many repeats. So little time. Alright, let's try looping around this way and bypassing that altogether. I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of those Pokemon players that's a little bit hesitant to use repels because there is like a 0% chance, but it's still there that there will be a shiny Pokemon. Maybe that's just me. Alright, there remains to be nothing in this room. Man, I feel bad for myself later having to edit out all of these jump cuts. There's gotta be a way through here, right? There is. Oh. I bet that's what we have to do. We have to navigate back through this basement area. Alrighty. Now, if that is the case, we should be able... Yes, we can. We can loop right around here and grab this. This is a dusk stone. Very, very rare item that you're definitely going to want to pick up because they are in limited supply. It's actually kind of crazy to me how many of these Pokemon we already have. Not that I'm complaining, but I'd like to find some new stuff just so we can complete our Pokedex a bit more. Alright, that seems to have shuffled things around considerably, which means we can now enter rooms up here. That's what we wanted. The 3D perspective in this game sometimes can throw you off on whether or not you're able to navigate certain parts of the map. So I guess that was my downfall this time around. Guess we have no choice, entering this room. Alright, seems to be normal. Here we have a rare candy. Very nice. Not sure if I'm ever going to use my rare candies, but it's nice to have a good stash of them. Right at the doorway, of course. And now, this is still blocked off. I bet we have to access it from the other side of the room. Am I correct about this? I'll be honest, I very much doubt that we've caught everything that is available to us. And yet, we're still running into all these repeats. But of course, one better thing to run into is a trainer. You. Who are you? There's another person here besides me? We don't need any trainers here. Really, really cryptic language in this area. It's really spooky. Although, that is most definitely what they were going for with this area, so I guess I can't complain too terribly much. Here we have Frostlass, which is an alternate evolution of Snorunt. Very cool addition in Generation 4. Be sure to remain vigilant if you ever obtain a shiny one of these, because you can hardly tell the difference. It's kind of insane, actually. I think they changed the shade of blue by, like, a hair. And that is the only thing that is different between a regular Frostlass and a shiny Frostlass. So if you ever wanted a very flashy, vibrant, in-your-face shiny Pokemon, Frostlass is not it at all. Alright, up next is Gardevoir, which is one of the possible evolutions of Kirlia, which we obtained earlier in the episode. Alrighty, I think a well-placed Dark Pulse will bring this thing down post-haste, because it is not Fairy-type in this particular game, of course. Boom. Wow, it actually took that. Now, I'm not sure if Fairy actually resists Dark or not. It's been 3 years since X and Y were announced, and I still don't remember the type matchups with Fairy. I can remember pretty much all the other ones pretty good. But Fairy, I'm just really rusty on for some reason. Oh well, maybe I have to start thinking like a game designer and think what would balance what. Anyhow, we have Ms. Magius coming out right here. I'm pretty sure Ghost is weak to Dark? I think? Wow, I was right. These sort of exotic types, like Dark and Psychic and Ghost and Fairy and stuff like that, is probably the portion of the type chart that I am least comfortable with. A lot of them I really don't confidently remember, so I usually have to wind up guessing them. Which is unfortunate, because I'm really quite good at everything else. Anyway, down goes this trainer. This house, it brims with fear, sorrow, defeat. So many feelings fill these walls, giving rise to a mysterious energy. Mysterious energy indeed, such as that apparition we saw earlier. Perhaps we will see it again at some point. I'm not buying it, game. There is more stuff in this house. Anyway, if we head right up here, in the dark dream, I heard my dad's voice. Forget about the lunar wing. Please stay here with me. Eerie. There's only one room left in the house. Let us enter. Now, this is something that's a little bit awkward. As you might imagine, this being a hack, there are a couple of minor flag setting errors. This being one of them. You might recall that legendary Pokemon we saw on Route 6. This Pokemon is the same way. It is not supposed to have appeared yet until we have fulfilled certain conditions. Unfortunately, the flag is incorrectly set in the hack, making it show up early. You might notice it is standing on an item, and that item is what we came here to find. I'm pretty sure pressing A over there will give us the item first. But just in case, I'm going to save just in case this goes horribly, horribly wrong. Alrighty, the game is saved. Let's see if we can grab this mysterious item. And we can! Very nice. Right out from under this Pokemon's nose, I guess? We found the lunar wing. Oh, the lunar wing. I can't take it now. But it'll be okay. Please return the wing to the Pokémon. I was waiting on the bridge so I could return it myself. Very eerie indeed. We are going to be leaving that Pokémon there for now, for the time being, but rest assured we will eventually be back to claim it as our own. But anyway, now, with the lunar wing in hand, and a mission set to us by that mysterious ghostly girl, let us exit the strange house and leave it behind for now. We'll definitely be back here at some point. Anyway, I would like to head back to Lentimas Town as quick as possible, but not before getting our revenge on camera from last episode, because here is one now. Very, very happy with that. How lucky. Unfortunately, Camerupt is ground type, which means paralyzing it is out of the question. So let's just jump straight to catching it. Gotcha, Camerupt was caught. Very nice, didn't have to have a little vendetta against this thing for having to knock it out. The volcanoes on its back have a major eruption every 10 years. Or whenever it becomes really angry. I like it when the Pokédex has a little bit of wit like that. Alrighty, so now that we have done that, let us head... Alright, temptation is calling me. Audino after Audino after Audino. It never ends, does it? Anyway, let us head on in here and heal up our Pokemon. And I think, now that we have explored the mysterious strange house hidden in a crag in the mountain, and returned with the lunar wing and a mission from a ghost, I think we are going to end things off here. So next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, now that we have done all of this exploring, we are going to be heading inside the mountain proper and begin on our journey all the way to Opelucid City. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.